Here we go, guys. Game number 2, Tongfu versus Aeon. Tongfu have the first pick. They are on the Radiant side, though, and we saw that Aegis of the Mortal, again, playing a crucial role in a game. I don't know if they needed it to win, but it certainly helped them along the way. Aeon will have better access into that Roshan pit. They are on the Dire side. Tongfu with the first pick here. Gods, any adjustments you expect to see from Aeon in this draft?
Well, I'd say the main one is going to be whether or not we see Chen and Enchantress making it through the pool again, or whether or not at least one of them gets banned out. They may ban out well, actually, it's Tongfu with the first pick, so we may see Tongfu who want to ban out one of them and Aeon ban out the other, or even it's Aeon who ban out them both. Probably going to get eliminated this time, as they're right off the bat. Aeon do not encouple against Invoker, so they seem, at least for now, happy to leave some of those jungle heroes left in there. They're going to almost have to ban out the Lycan. I don't see them wanting to go up against Tongfu in a must-win match on Lycan, so we'll see what else they do ban out, but it looks like one of those jungle heroes may slip through unless Tongfu decide to ban them themselves.
Yeah, of course, Invoker, another very potent hero to give away, and Tongfu certainly a team that is capable of running that Invoker. If we see the jungling heroes banned out, that may make some room for heroes like DK, that we know Aeon likes to run. I mean, you mentioned Pudge. I think DK is sort of a safer choice that still gives you a lot of the same opportunities. Great initiation, pop that Dragon for immediate, reliable stun, and gives you that tanky presence in the front lines like a Pudge, which they needed the last game. They didn't have it. That Roshan fight, if they had it, I think it would have gone a lot differently. Also, the lockdown on a hero like Night Stalker cannot be underestimated. So I wouldn't mind seeing an early DK pick here, even before the second stage of bans. More maybe something like a Clinkz. It worked once against Tongfu. Again, that was with a Tongfu Pudge, but it could work again.
And I think if we do see those jungle heroes like Chen Enchantress being banned out, it's very high probability that we will have a sort of morph anti-mage situation again. But I don't know whether or not it'll be morph versus anti-mage, or whether or not just one will be picked up. Almost without a doubt, you'll be seeing one, if not both of those heroes, if those aggressive jungle heroes are banned out. Even if they do get picked up, last game we saw morph versus anti-mage anyways. And Tongfu doing the right thing, banning out the Windrunner. This is the key hero to ban against these Southeast Asian teams. All of them just seem to heavily rely, not so much rely on Windrunner, but they just use the hero so well. They all play it just so perfectly, and it just sort of fits their style. And I think the Chinese teams are catching on. You just ban Windrunner if you're up against Aeon or one of these Malaysian teams, or whoever it is. These Southeast Asian teams love their Windrunner, Mythtrust included.
Yeah, along with that Windrunner, they also love their Earthshaker, although I'm not sure if we'll see it this game, but I think it's a great hero for Aeon to have. It gives you a little bit more of a defensive presence in a fight like a Roshan Pit engagement. Having an Earthshaker rather than, say, a Vengeful Spirit or sort of a single target support can be a big difference maker. So will Aeon go back to what's worked for them in the past? Will they do something a little bit out of their comfort zone and try to pick up heroes that are aggressive early on, like the Enchantress, the Chen, the Vengeful Spirit? Queen of Pain is the first pick, and that is a hero that Tongfu loves to play. I believe this is a Hao Queen of Pain, correct?
Well, he plays their carries. I mean, it depends where they want to put it. If it's going to be safe lane Queen of Pain as their sort of their #1 role, then it's quite likely to be Hao. But if it's going to be in the mid lane on that solo, I'd say it's going to be Mew or even Sansheng playing that one, as those two players do play their solo. So if they go for an anti-mage or Morphling later on, or some kind of other carry, even a DK, I mean, they can still fit a DK in here. That's going to be Hao. And I'd say it's probably not going to be Hao on the Queen of Pain. It just depends what else they pick up here. Aeon now, what do they want to go for here? Chen and Enchantress both in the pool. It's unlikely they pick up both. And that's why Tongfu didn't go for the Chen first or the Enchantress first, because they're both still in the pool. So if Aeon are going to pick the Chen, Tongfu have the option to pick up Enchantress. Not saying they necessarily will, but it is there. And Chen alone, I mean, you don't have to pick up an Enchantress to do with Chen. If you have heroes who can't really be ganked and you have heroes who can keep your towers alive, we may see another Venomancer pick even, you can make Chen very limited in what he can do.
Yeah, Chen can still have an impact on the game just from getting that ultimate. Of course, Holy Persuasion, great for keeping heroes alive, but when you pick a Chen, you want to get early towers, you want to get early kills, and capitalize on the power of those creeps as they don't scale well. It's going to be a Dragon Knight. I was actually about to say I like this. I would like to see them pick the DK up here. So with the DK and the Chen, a lot of early push power. There's your front line tank. This is also a hero that can help a lot locking down a Queen of Pain in a team fight, especially in the range form. That Dragon Tail is such a reliable stun. If you follow that up with something like an Earthshaker, a Vengeful Spirit, really any one of many supports that cav stuns, it's a great way to lock down the mobility that Tongfu has already started to go for. Where does Tongfu go from here? They're up against the Chen, they're up against the Dragon Knight, they expect to see a lot of push. Venomancer will be that support and Enchantress, so they are going to contest this jungle. I'm very curious, will it be an offensive jungle Enchantress? Will it be a defensive jungle? Are we going to see these two junglers going head-to-head? That was a pretty fun thing to watch last game. I would love to see it again.
I think with the Chinese teams is they go for the safer option and put Enchantress in their own jungle. The problem with offensive Enchantress jungle is if right off the bat, sometimes teams, if they have some strong support heroes, they can prevent you from even getting into their jungle because Enchantress level 1 cannot do anything in a sort of small skirmish, in a 2v2 or 3v3, unless you have a creep. And if their Enchantress is trying to go to the enemy jungle and they're there waiting and start poking at the Enchantress before she gets in the jungle, she can be completely kept out of the game for the first couple of minutes. So I think more likely we'll see Enchantress playing it safe in the safe lane jungle, and we'll see just whether or not they do that. But Earthshaker for now is going to be picked up by Aeon, and definitely a hero that we've seen a lot of, that's for sure, LD.
Yeah, this Earthshaker, man, I mean, Aeon love to run it, and it's just such a nice, reliable hero to have for Aeon. You know, even if you miss a fissure here or there, just always having that big AoE stun, early game, mid game, late game, whatever stage of the game it is, it's going to make a big difference. At least until Queen of Pain gets up a BKB, which is an item that we often see the Tong Fu players going for when they play that hero. It is a great way to allow her to initiate. Death Prophet gets banned out, so once again Aeon is being denied that combo they had so much success with yesterday with the Death Prophet and the DK. Still, all that being said, it's a good opening for Aeon. It's a pretty flexible one. We're going to need to see them get a support, and then probably some sort of an off-laning hero. And the question is, who will that off-lane hero be?
Oh, there's not too many options. I mean, Bounty Hunter's still there. It's always one of the possibilities for them. But there's not that many strong offlane heroes. I mean, the Windrunner, the one that they love to use, has been banned out. Nature's Prophet they used last game, and I mean, Darkseid. I mean, a lot of these options have been banned out, so they may have to go for something like a Bounty Hunter, maybe even a Brood here. I think Brood does okay so far. I mean, may feed a lot of Spiderling kills to a hero like Queen of Pain, so they'll have to be careful if Queen of Pain may go to the safe lane, but it's going to be an important decision who they put in that suicide lane, or they may just want to put their own strong lane at bottom with an ES with one more hero there, or we will see what they want to do though, because this is going to be the last ban for them. I don't know, are they scared of the Anti-Mage? Are they going to ban the Anti-Mage as well as the Morphling, or do you think they'll just ban out something else here?
I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Tong Fu pick up an Anti-Mage if it's available. I mean, we saw that was their go-to way to close out the series when they did drop that Game 1 to Myth Trust, so it wouldn't surprise me if they banned it out here. It gives you, you know, it's just something, do you really want to deal with an Anti-Mage and a Queen of Pain? These two mobile heroes, if anything ever goes wrong in a fight, these are two heroes that can completely punish those mistakes, and that is really one of Tong Fu's strongest features of a team, as a team, is their ability to punish mistakes, and once they start to win a fight, get a lot out of it. No, Aeon bans out the Brood. Interesting choice here. Now, Brood can spread the map out, and especially you're spreading the field when you have Queen of Pain already. It's a lot to deal with, but I think if they were able to get their hands on that Brood, that would have been a fantastic choice for Aeon. They do need that offlane hero. It's such a difficult hero to kill, and even if you get some kills on Brood, she requires a lot of attention to do so, which creates space for the DK, as well as any other heroes they might have who are looking for farm to get it. So the Brood ban, you know, you don't want to give Tong Fu another strong pushing hero when they already have Enchantress and Venomancer. That's a lot to deal with. Aeon is playing it safe in this draft, but that Anti-Mage, he is available.
Oh yeah, we'll see if they want to go for him or not. He doesn't do all that well against the DK in early to mid game. Late game, sure, why not? You can go head to head with him. You can go head to head with DK if you're sort of equal on farm. You might not be able to kill him, but it will come down to the supports. But more importantly, Anti-Mage is much more mobile, can just go for those counter pushes and can take down all those support heroes a lot faster than a DK can, who does suffer from those mobility issues. So in some ways he is better, but there's a hero who I completely forgot about. The Brewmaster is going to be the go-to here for Tong Fu, and I think this is a fantastic pickup. I don't know what your thoughts on this are, but that can cause a lot of problems for Aeon.
It can, and I think what we're going to see here from Tong Fu, unless Aeon take it away, is that Lone Druid as their final pick, with Lone Druid in the offlane, the Queen of Pain mid, the Venomancer, and the Panda combo. The reason I mentioned Lone Druid in this situation is the combination of Lone Druid plus Brewmaster in the mid-game engagements. These are two heroes that are just almost impossible to burst down, so tanky, and once Panda drops his ult, everyone is on the back foot. It also allows Tong Fu to have a little bit of late-game insurance, Queen of Pain, Panda, and Lone Druid, while still giving them strong lanes. So if I'm Aeon, I'm very worried about that Lone Druid pick, and I would consider taking it for myself. They have the room for it. They're gonna go with a Tinker. This is an unorthodox pick. It has a lot of potential either to bust horribly or to work out fantastically because Tongfu is very squishy, but Tinker is also very gankable, and Tongfu's heroes are very strong at ganking in the early game. So this is either this is a go big or go home kind of pick here from Aeon. And
oh yeah,
I love
absolutely.
it.
And this is what me too, man. This is what tournaments are all about, especially when you get late into the tournaments, when the matches start to matter. I mean, sure, this is not a team getting knocked out, but this is a spot in the grand finals. You'd much rather be winning this series and not dropping down to the loser bracket where you play that additional match before getting to the grand finals. And Tinker is a hero that I've seen Aeon use once or twice, and it's been mostly against sort of teams slightly below them, and they've used it pretty well, but this is going to be a true test of their ability. And we'll see how it does go for them, although they are up against a very sort of mobile and aggressive lineup. The Puck, Queen of Pain, the Brewmaster. I mean, there's three heroes who are going to be very mobile, especially Brewmaster if he can get up that Blink Dagger. Well, only if he gets up that Blink Dagger, really. And Enchantress, the early game gank potential there is something that Aeon are going to be very wary of, especially if their Chen cannot get too involved himself.
Well, what the Puck gives you is a great way to hold the Tinker in place, as well as silence him up, and Tinker very reliant on casting spells.
10 seconds remaining.
We've seen mixed results for Puck, but if any team can pull off an effective Puck, I expect it to be Tongfu. WE's Puck actually did very well. Another Chinese team, they put that Puck solo mid.
Reserve time.
We could see an offensive tri-lane here with the Brewmaster, the Venomancer, the offensive jungle Enchantress, and then that gives you can have your Puck go mid, you can have the Queen of Pain in the safe lane. As the more I think about it, the more I think that's the best laning situation for Tongfu, because it's going to give that Puck a decent time, and if Puck doesn't have a good start, he's really going to struggle. And Pugna,
yeah, no, I agree. Pugna, it's an interesting pick. I mean, it does give them some sort of strong mid game. It gives them, something to sort of just deal with the Puck and the Queen of Pain, casting all those spells in those team fights. Although they may just focus down that Netherward depending where he plays it, and it's going to be Suamon playing that Pugna. So I think Pugna here does need to be played well. It's one of those heroes that it doesn't really hard counter any of those Raiden heroes, but when played well and when you do get the farm and items you need on a Pugna, you can have an impact on any game, given the right positioning.
Still, as I look at Aeon's lineup, they have a couple of very squishy heroes. So the Earthshaker pick, I mean, he's definitely going to help to protect heroes like the Pugna, the Chen, and the Tinker. But I just don't know. Tongfu, yes, they're squishy, but they're mobile. Aeon, they're squishy and they're immobile. So I mean, if things don't go well for Aeon, I feel like they're screwed. Whereas for Tongfu, I think there's more room to bounce back because of the mobility of those heroes and just the sheer power of their ultimates, the Queen of Pain, the Puck, and the Brewmaster. And right off the bat, Tongfu is going to be warding down the enemy pull. Are we going to see this offensive tri-lane? I'm guessing not, because Panda is headed either mid or bottom.
It could be Panda on that solo. I mean, look at this Panda's item build. He's going for a fast bottom, and it looks like he will be at mid based on this. And I think it will be top because they've already got Enchantress in the jungle with a ward, so they're not at risk of Enchantress being kept out of the jungle by some early aggression from the Dire supports. And the Dire supports are actually, ES is near the bottom lane. Chen is just going to get this top room. Invis, who's going to get there first? Veno, it's going to get killed. Smart play by Chen, although he probably would like to pick that up so he could have got some scouting information. But for now, Enchantress will go into this top jungle. There'll be a bit of a battle, although it looks like Enchantress will get the left big creep. Chen will get the right one. And here we go. ES does join up. Pugna is starting out at top. No one is bottom against the Puck. What are they doing? Maybe a bit of a lane switch here. It looks like DK may head towards the bottom lane. As Aeon have decided that they need to mix things up. ES and Pugna are going to be top against this Enchantress jungle.
Well, in any tri-lane situation, having that Earthshaker is always going to be a crucial and if you're able to set up a nice vision, you can completely turn the tides of the gang. So Wawan is going to be on the Pugna here. And against an Enchantress, a Venomancer, and a Queen of Pain, I fear for his well-being, even with that Earthshaker here to protect him. Also, because the Radiant are sort of controlling this pole camp that's close to the top tier 1 tower, they're going to have a bit of an easier time in terms of setting up these early engagements. And look what they already want to go on the offensive. The Dire have no vision. I want to also point out there was a hill ward placed here, and this is essential when you have a hero like Tinker mid. You can't let a smoke gang come around, loop around from the backside. You won't see the smoke gang coming, but you certainly... Oh, as I say that, the fissure is popped. Swaman is going to dodge the Gale. Great juke by him, and it is Kabu who's being driven back. If that Gale had hit, Swaman might have gone down. But yeah, this just shows you how easily ganked the Tinker is with that very defensive ward being placed up above that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, that was somewhat uncharacteristic. Now Enchantress has got double creeps here, has an Ursa and a Centaur, and they have a lot of killing potential, but they're going to get scattered out by this Chen. Smart play from Chen, although we will see... oh no, they're not going to hit the clap on that. I'll say, would it be able to kill it? Enchantress actually steals it, and now is going to run in. Pugna staying too long here. There's going to have to be another Fissure here, but this Pugna may go down either way. There goes the Fissure, only hitting 2. Pugna just trying to return 5. Pugna going down. There's your first blood. It goes to the Enchantress, and I mean, Chen scouted out them with those with his creep, but still Pugna just staying by that T1 tower, allowing them to get him from behind. As we will see mid lane, Tink and Brewmaster trading hits a bit here, but yeah, not the best positioning from Pugna in that top lane, I have to say.
Not the best positioning. At the same time, he's just a single slow and he's dead, especially with that many creeps coming his way. And I mean, picking Pugna and Tinker, they're both so easily ganked. You had to figure Tongfu was going to be offensive, and again, it requires perfect play from Aeon in this early game. So far, the play has been much less than perfect. They still have room to turn this around. On the bottom lane, Ken and Sangchain are trading some hits, and actually Sangchain even seems to be, he's dominating this bottom lane. Look at him go. 14 and 5, and middle lane, the King gonna get picked off there. Oh, and with both of these squishy solos already getting picked off, things are looking bad for in the laning phase for Aeon. And the bottom lane, I was just about to talk about it. Sangchain is winning this lane up against the Dragon Knight way ahead in terms of the farm, and that's something you don't see a Puck do very often.
Yeah, I mean, Sangchain is just such a great solo player, and DK, I mean, not the best last hitter. He's got okay base damage. He can't spam that Flame Breath all that much. He is going to bring out the Soaring, although now the issue is going to be Puck can just sort of punish him from using the Soaring too often, although he has got only 1 point in the Dragon Blood, so currently level 3 versus level 4.5, and Puck probably going to go for that fast ball here just so we can keep on spamming the DK a bit with that Illusion Orb and just hope for a rune every now and then, as we will see Chen willing the bottom jungle, but here comes Venomancer towards bottom. With a gank at both top and middle lane, they're pretty happy with Queen of Pain at top lane, solo against the Pugna. Brewmaster's fine at mid. If they can get a kill as well for bottom lane, that's 3 lanes where they've secured a kill and will have a slight edge in.
Yeah, and if you can win all 3 lanes in the early game as the mid game approaches, it's just going to be a feast for a lot of these bursty style gankers on Sawamon's team, on Tongfu's side. How eating a bit of harassment. They can't gank top, and I still feel this is the core difference between the two teams is the solo heroes like the Queen of Pain, the Brewmaster, so much harder to gank than the Tinker and the Pugna. When you see an Enchantress and a Chen on the field, the team that has the more easily ganked heroes is likely the team that's going to fall behind in the laning stage, and some pulling is actually happening. They're not even going to go for the early gank on the DK, but they're going to shut him down in other ways. They don't have to kill him if they can stop him from getting in range of those creeps. This does free up a bit of space up towards the top side, where Nuts is doing supporting the small camp, but he's already pretty under-leveled, only level 2 on that Chen, not too close to level 3, whereas the Enchantress is already hitting level 3 and approaching level 4. 3 creeps grouped up. The smoke, this gank will be spotted, no smoke available, but it is going to force DK to hug this tower.
I don't think they're worried too much about the kill. They just want this tower. The kill is going to be an afterthought. If they can get this tower, that is a even bigger boost going to Tongfu's early game. They're going to drop down the Tornado. That's going to scan out this DK, and they will actually. Enchantress going to back off. It's going to maybe with the Venomancer now. He's got just level 1 Plague Wolves with the Puck. They should be able to get this T1 tower unless we see some TP support coming in soon. Mr. Kyo does have a TP, but I don't think ES alone can stop this tower push from happening as DK forced way back.
Yeah, look how far back DK is being driven. There's a Centaur just bullying him, tanking up some tower shots, looking to draw the creeps back. This is a very smart nice little trick to do whenever you're playing a jungler. You can draw the creep aggro, but DK is actually able to get it, so the creeps will not be attacking the tower. Still, the Plague Ward's already being spammed down. They're only level 1, so they do die quite quickly, but they still do a decent chunk of damage. While this is happening, no real reaction here, so it looks like Tongfu will draw not only first blood in terms of heroes, but also first blood in terms of towers. The next creep wave coming in, no catapult, no Ray to Basilius even, but this tower is not long for this world.
Yeah, it's really not something they can defend, and it's not really like Aeon at the moment getting too much in exchange. They are going to see aggression at mid lane. Brewmaster went looking for a kill with the ulti. Luckily, ES was there with the TP support, preventing Mew from getting that kill, and Mew actually taking a lot of damage, taking the tower up a bit. We'll go looking for a rune. It's a regen as well, spawning. Everything going right for Tongfu so far. They've got the 2-kill lead. They've got the T1 tower now, and they're going to find a regen rune for their Brewmaster after he does miss a kill with the ulti. But he forced the TP in from the ES. He's going to give Queen of Pain a bit more room to farm at top lane. Queen of Pain who has gone for an early bottle. Level 5 for both the Turas at top lane, and Queen of Pain double Pugna CS.
Look at the CS on Tongfu. 3 heroes already approaching that 30 CS mark. Sawamon drops the ward. May actually get a kill here on Hal, but no, there's the Blake. Just so much more margin for error when you're playing a hero like Queen of Pain, and she's going to go back in. Suamon did not pop us out because of that Shadow Strike. Actually, she's not. The Blink was on cooldown, or that would have been a sure kill. And now he'll be salving up. Oh, it's the CS on Tong Fu. All three of the core heroes about 5 CS a minute. Especially this Queen of Pain and the Suicide lane. I mean, she had some help early on, but for the past 4.5 minutes, she has been left on her own. And if you're on a team like Aeon, you really need the fast start, especially on Tinker, who's nowhere near Boots of Travel, and not looking to have them until maybe the 15, 18-minute mark at this rate.
No, I have to fully agree. I mean, looking at those CSs, it's not a pretty sight. Puck's actually gone for some strength treads here, just sort of taking up as much as possible, as well as just getting those extra stats to work with. It's kind of like an alternative to getting an Null Talisman or two. You can move them around with the treads, but not going for an early bottle, not going straight for that Blink Dagger. Interesting choice nonetheless, as we will see mid lane. It looks like Brewmaster is just going to be rushing that Blink Dagger. He's sitting on 1k gold here, and not showing too much signs of buying anything with that. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, just Blink Dagger as fast as possible, then go around, set up some kills, and that Blink initiation will allow them to get a kill, but more importantly, you can transition into a tower push using any kills that you do get from that. They do need a few more levels on Venomancer, who's currently only level 4. You want to get those maxed out Plague Wards up, and then that push can really start to get rolling.
Are we going to see the type of game that we just got done casting of WE versus Dustbin with the early Blink Dagger on the Slaughter and the Puck? It was lights out as soon as those were picked up. Panda as well as Puck, very similar. Oh, the King, he wants this haste rune. Is he going to get it? He does, just barely. He's going to look to turn around here on Moo, who does not have the ult. Nice fissure. This is a big kill. They really need it. You have to kill Panda as much as possible while the ult is down. Look how tanky that Brewmaster is. One more. Oh, he's going to go into the trees. The clap. It looks like he should die, but at what cost? Oh, one more laser cleans it up. The King sent back to base. That was a desperately needed kill. And some signs of life, but nonetheless, the Blink Dagger may have been stymied on him, but Sunshine is still getting close to his, and if you can hold this Aeon lineup in place for just a couple of seconds, that's all the time in the world the Queen of Pain needs to set up her ultimate. Speaking of that, Queen of Pain just got a solo kill on the Pucka in the Suicide lane.
Yeah, that's not something that Aeon can afford to have at this point. I mean, they were lucky to get that. Well, I'd say lucky, but I mean, he did get the haste rune, but I think Brewmaster could have actually TP'd out and lived as soon as he got into those trees and semi-fogged the Tinker, but we are going to see how continuing to farm, continuing to dominate this top lane with those intel treads. 1k gold on him. It seems that all the 3 farming heroes from Tong Fu all have like their treads up with about 1 to 1.5k gold. They're all farming so damn well compared to DK on Aeon's side, who's on just 22 CS. Is struggling to even farm up his treads, and the other heroes on the Dire side just really struggling as well. It looks like Pugna going to get some fast arcane boots here, but that's still a very squishy hero with just arcane boots.
Yeah, they're not even especially fast for Suamon. Only 24 CS, and Pugna is one of the strongest farmers in the game. Up there with heroes like Leshrac. Just so good at bursting on creep waves. That Nether Blast incredibly spammable, and Moo is going to usher back the King, who has opted for the Rocket Max. So decent anti-push, but not going to be as helpful as March of the Machines in this particular situation. And unfortunately, they might be losing another tier 1 without getting anything in return. Puck is not leaving bottom lane. Oh, he's so close to that Blink. Only 100 gold to go. Just needs a couple of creeps here, and then he's going to have it. As soon as this Blink is picked up by Puck, look for Tong Fu to set up perhaps a smoke gank. Go for a big team, large team skill engagement. And with the Panda ult to follow up as well, that's a lot of squishy heroes likely to fall on the part of Aeon.
Yeah, I totally agree. This lineup is just going to suffer in the mid game unless they can get their mech and pipe. But DK will likely pipe by it. Pugna likely the one to go for the mech, although they do have the Chen as well. But Chen at the moment is pretty much playing the hard support role. I have to say at this point, just have Chen get the wards and stuff. Try and get some arcane boots up on this Earthshaker, as you will be needing a Blink Dagger a bit later on. I have a feeling this is not a game where Chen can even go for the mech at all. Maybe just get something like an Urn of Shadows if he needs some HP. But for the most part, without mech pipe, some kind of survivability, these Blink Daggers are just going to steamroll through Aeon.
Yeah, there's the Blink Dagger and Sanction, and still not leaving the bottom lane. Mr. Keo is collecting some experience here, looking to get an Arcane Boots of his own, or maybe rushing a Blink Dagger. We'll have to wait and see. But an Earthshaker with a Blink Dagger this early on, it's really not the most effective thing in the world. That level 1 Echo Slam is not too scary, especially when your team's getting the quick power tread, the quick levels up. You're going to be able to tank that, and frankly, Fissure Spam is going to be more helpful. Looks like Puck has actually TP back to base, and is going to be looking to set up some kills here for his team. Moo, 500 gold away from his Blink. Another regen rune for Moo, who just never has to go back to base before he keeps on because he keeps on finding these. Yeah, things continue to look good for Tong Fu.
He's having a fantastic day with those runes, and that's something which is not... I mean, it's already been hard enough for Aeon as well. They didn't have the best of starts, but to have such great runes going in Panda's way, although they did get the one haste from the Tinker, getting them that kill, but all in all, Aeon at the moment, unable to pressure any towers, just sitting back, playing defensively, and pretty much just waiting for Tong Fu to come for them, and that's not really where you want to be when they're going to have Blink initiations coming very, very soon. Puck has his up, and Pandas is not far away, not to mention Queen of Pain. We'll see what item Queen of Pain wants to get here. Does have 1,700 gold. May just go for an ultimate orb, or even the straight BKB. I mean, the BKB, so that Queen of Pain can just go blinking in, be unafraid, and even just go for a hero like this Earthshaker. Take Earthshaker out of the fight. I always say, whenever I see Queen of Pain against something like an Earthshaker, that's the perfect... It's like the Stormstreak. You get BKB on Stormstreak just so you can snipe that Earthshaker and take him out of a fight.
Yeah, this Earthshaker, he doesn't have the best backup. I mean, he's got the Chen to send him home, but this is only a level 4 Chen. Holy Persuasion still takes a decent amount of time. Also, there's no heal to help keep him alive. There is no mechanism. And this is really Chinese Dota at its finest. Tong Fu knocking down all these early tier 1 towers. The aggressive wards go up. They immediately start farming the enemy jungle. And even though Aeon isn't dying, they are slowly but steadily losing ground. They need to be gaining it, as they are already behind. Puck got a solo kill. Actually, I forget who it was at this point. It was on the Tinker. It was on the Tinker, so slowing down his Boots of Travel even more. He's opted for a Soul Ring, so the Boots of Travel, if we see them, it's not going to be until 20 minutes or later, and that is just a very slow timing for a hero that had to have a fast start this game. Blink Dagger up on Moo. They're going to go for a kill here on Nuts. The Fissure is out, but I think the Shadow Strike alone will be enough to bring down Nuts, and in any case, Panda is continuing to chase. How one more right click. Look how deep Tong Fu is diving. This is the aggressive Tong Fu that we were expecting to see in their last series, where they opted to go for an anti-mage in the hard carry style play. So aggressive, but it's calculated aggression. It's not headlong, it's not foolish. They're not feeding. They just know they have the advantage, and they're pushing that advantage.
And this Chen is level 4. He is struggling so hard. That he only has one creep. He's just 1 XP away from level 5. Okay, so he's about to hit level 5, but still. I was watching him. I clicked him there to think, okay, I wonder if Chen has an ulti, if he can heal himself up to save himself from the Shadow Strike. I'm like, wait, no. He doesn't have an ulti yet. He's not even level 5 yet. And I assumed it would maybe be on cooldown if he wasn't going to use it, but no, he's really had a tough time, unable to find an opening for the game, and this just goes to show that Enchantress can just really limit what Chen can do. And none of the... It's not so much just the Enchantress, it's just the fact that none of these lanes were gankable. You've the Puck, the Queen of Pain, 2 almost impossible heroes to gank, and then you've got the Brewmaster, who at mid lane is just very tanky, very sturdy, and someone not all that easy to take down, as we do see another pick-off coming on the DK near the Roshan pit.
Yeah, DK is tanky, but he's not that mobile, and with these early tier 1 towers being knocked down, it makes it very dangerous to farm on your own. And before the Queen of Pain and the Panda even showed up, that DK was getting out-damaged by Puck 1v1. That's just something you don't expect to see at this stage of the game. DK normally gonna get that early farm and just be the one that's driving back a squishy intelligence hero like Puck. With these double Blink Daggers up, as well as a Queen of Pain to work with, I mean, Tong Fu can be everywhere almost instantly, and Aeon, it's just so difficult for them to find the space to farm, and they are a team that still has a long way to go. I mean, you mentioned the mechanism and the pipe, even just some basic, HP items on this DK, that's something they want, but right now the power treads are all that Ken has to his name with that additional death.
Yeah, and I mean, that BKB is such a long way off right now. I mean, I haven't even looked at the gold graph yet in this game. I'm kind of scared to do so, and it is ugly. Tong Fu almost had... It's not just the sheer number, it's the fact they've almost got double Aeon's gold at this point in the game. It's 13,000 overall gold to 22,000. I mean, that is just... Also, it's just jumped up to 14,000, but still a massive difference in terms of percent, rather than just the sheer number at 15 minutes into the game. And that is spelling a lot of problems for Aeon. They need to start getting some towers, they need to start doing something, and they're going to try to do that at top lane, but it looks like they're looking to make something happen. Enchantress actually gets KO'd. Nice start, and Puck though, Blink in with the Brewmaster. This is going to turn things around. Dreamcall hits 3, and Brewmaster going to clean up here. Chen not level 6 yet, getting close there, but 3 quick kills going Tong Fu's way, even with Enchantress getting picked off, and Mr. Kyo will go down as well. There's your 4th kill. Puck, phase shift a little late, not going to matter. Just that team fight, those Blink Daggers, just too much. Although DK, making the best of it. Nice little trade for him. He does get the T1 mid tower, but that was never a fight Am could have won.
Oh, there's your double Blink Daggers for you. The initiation range on Tong Fu is just immense, and once those ults are popped, again, it's not like Aeon have heroes that can get away from, from a Venomancer, an Enchantress, a Panda, a Queen of Pain, a Puck with a Blink. Everyone on Tongfu's got chasing potential. Nobody on Aeon has escape potential. These heroes are they're just sitting ducks. At this point of the game, I mean, where do you go? You can't push anymore. At least not when the Brewmaster ults up, because you're just gonna die. You can't really farm because Tongfu can solo down most of your heroes in a 1v1 situation. They really can't even defend their towers because there's no martial machines. DK can't stand on the front lines. They still don't have to heal on Nuts, who's almost level 6. I just don't know what Aeon can do. I mean, yeah, they got a tier 1 tower. That's a nice trade. It's better than nothing. They gave up 4 towers for it, though.
If Ting can get a rocket, he will get to kill this Venomancer. There's a dire ward there right by him. It looks like they're not going to get it, though. But yeah, I have to agree. This is one of those things where Aeon's lineup, they had to have a strong early game. If they fell behind like they've done here, it was low margin for error, and this has been just a terrible early game for them. Although they did manage to turn things around a bit by getting that tier 1 mid tower, they're still a long ways off, and heroes like this DK, Ogre Club up, but the BKB is still a good sort of 2k gold away. And now, just one tower by tower, Tongfu will get further and further ahead. They haven't taken any tier 2 towers yet, but that's only, I feel like it's only a matter of time till we see them start doing that. Veno's starting to build what's probably a mech here, as we will see Puck even building a BKB. There's such great item progression coming from this Tongfu lineup.
Tongfu feels, they're a well-oiled machine right now. That's what they are. Blink in from Move, and Tinker will just barely get away. Tinker, I guess 20 minutes was optimistic. This is looking like 22, 23 minutes boots of travel, and that's assuming he can stay alive, which is a pretty unlikely proposition, to be perfectly honest, against the Puck, the Queen of Pain, the Panda. For Tongfu, you wait for the Panda ult to come up, and then you can do whatever you want. You could go for some ganks, you could go for a tower push. And Aeon cannot stand at that tower. If they stand at the tower, the Panda will blink and he'll drop his ulti, the Dream Coil will follow. Nuts is gonna get caught off here. He wanted to go to the enemy jungle, I guess to refill his creep supply. The net from Nuts, no TP on him. If Panda drops the ult, which he doesn't have, there is a smoke available. Nuts trying to do some nice tree juking, but Moo is not to be fooled. Actually, just kidding, he gets juked. Oh, he might have realized his folly here, and Nuts is... Oh, Nuts. Run, Nuts, run!
Oh,
run, Nuts,
no.
run!
There's a blink. He cancelled the blink! He's cancelling the blink. Oh.
Perfect.
I think there was a chance to blink, but no. This creep is good. Oh, Puck come in.
Ruining his fun.
Poor Nuts.
Ruining Nuts' fun.
Nuts.
I have to say I'm disappointed, but...
Yeah.
Great micro by him, and it's just too bad he's so far behind, or that might have actually been able to turn into something. Swabba drops the ward. Kabu dropping low. Is this a Tinker TP in? No, it's Mr. Keo, but the salve up from Kabu. Nice job with the wards here, and in fact, Mr. Keo has to be careful. Nice fissure block in. There's no more Nether Blast. Kabu actually out-damaging both of these heroes from the looks of it. Finally, one goes down. Suwaman on the way out. It's only Poison Nova, which is not fatal. The Chen heal even used. I don't think they needed to do that, but perhaps afraid of that final right-click. So now the Brewmaster ult's back up, and I think I can expect to see Tongfu grouping up, going for a push here, maybe try to pick off some heroes. Either way, they have, with that Brewmaster ult, they just have overwhelming team fight superiority.
Yeah, as soon as they have it, they do seem to just find those pickoffs, find a nice team fight. It's in between. Tongfu, I have to say, are playing a little sloppy, but I'd say that comes down to just confidence in the position they're in right now. And they also, it's one of those things where when they don't have that Brewmaster ultimate up, there's not too many options for them apart from farming. And I mean, we see Brewmaster, just that little bit of cute play with that Chen in the jungle. Also, something that did happen at mid lane was Park dropping the Dream Coil, trying to kill the Tinker off, although Tinker did TP out with the Dream Coil, in fact, missing. But Brewmaster ulti up, and that's something which can almost be guaranteed to Semper kill. Brewmaster finding the Chen jungle, does have the ulti. He may just want to pop it here, as there has been a bit of a team fight initiation. Veno and Enchantress coming in. Brewmaster going to gun down the Chen. Puck blinking in. Dream Coil still on cooldown for another couple of seconds, so it may just be the Chen. As, oh, smoke being popped by the ES. What a smart play. Those Brewmaster spirits do not reveal in smoke, so that's one way you can escape from a Brewmaster when he does pop the ulti, is by popping that smoke. Really smart play from Mr. Keo.
Still, they're doing all of this without How. Ken stuns. Whoa, can they burst him down? They do get him, and Queen of Pain is nowhere in sight. The Panda ult has been used. Actually, it looks like Mr. Keo may go down here. No, he was decrepified. Moo cannot get that last right click stun lock here on Moo. And Tongfu is overextended. Moo will go down. In comes the Puck, perhaps. Sang-Chain. Silence. There's the Queen of Pain, who is rotated over with that Lincoln Sphere. Chen getting sent back to base. He will, or excuse me, DK getting sent back to base by the Chen. He will survive. Still, when all said and done, it is a pretty even trade. And crucially, they get the tier 1, or the tier 2 top, the tier 2 bottom. Queen of Pain with the Lincoln Sphere, almost hitting level 16. And that's really going to make life difficult for everyone on Aeon. Although Chen having the heal is a start. Is there a mechanism soon? No, it's a BKB rush on Suamon, which he has not used yet.
Yeah, we're not going to be seeing BKB up at all, and DK as well going for a BKB of his own, so they're not going to have much. Well, the supports especially will not have any survivability for this great initiation that the Radiant team have and their AoE damage. That's a problem. I mean, sure, Pugna and DK will be hard to kill, but if Tinker, ES, and get picked off and taken down fast, well then, I mean, even a BKB Pugna DK, they're not going to win a fight without those supports. That's why Mech and Pipe are generally bought over the BKBs, at least early on, or at least making sure your lineup has someone to get the Mech and Pipe while those carries can get the BKB, because ultimately you need to keep the supports alive as long as possible, especially against AoE-based lineup like this Radiant one. But right now, Venomancer does have the Mech for Tongfu, and they're just looking to keep this siege rolling. They may even go for Roshan soon, especially when they have that Brewmaster ulti back up. I have a feeling Aeon, that team fight was a bit even, but it was just a bit sort of all over the place and sloppy. The initiation was not as coherent as it has been in the past for Tongfu. They didn't have the Queen of Pain there, and they didn't have much vision as well as they had been dewarded.
Yeah, the next fight, you can expect to see them having decent vision because those towers are down. They can put up some nice wards, and most likely the engagement will take place near this last remaining tier 2 tower, which is slowly being worked down. Of course, it is a Hao Queen of Pain. That's why we've seen the Queen of Pain farming so much. And hey, she's got a Mystic Staff, a Lincoln Sphere. And Lincoln Sphere is a great item to have this game because you're up against an Earthshaker and a DK, and those two stuns are the only way that you're going to be locked down. Lincoln Sphere blocks both of those, so they're going to have to time both perfectly. Or either that or get like a laser off to start it, or maybe a Decrepify. There are ways to remove it, but you know, as long as Queen of Pain can blink away, she should be survivable. And at this rate, Hao is so far ahead, can easily outcarry the Tinker or even the DK. You mentioned the BKBs and how they're not going to help keep the supports alive. The other issue with BKBs in this game, what do you actually do when the BKBs are up? You don't really have much burst damage. Yeah. Tongfu can just kite away from you with the blink on the Queen of Pain, the puck as well.
You run, man.
Yeah, you run. And then you come right back in. Speaking of BKB, Sangshane's got one. Echo Slam. Kambu doing a bunch of damage here with that Poison Nova. Earthshaker gets sent home. DK getting locked down here. The Panda ult was used in the middle of the fight. Ken standing toe-to-toe for the moment. He is tanky, but he will be going down even with the Chen Hill. Mega kill on Sangshane. This is the best puck we have seen all tournament. The best puck I think I've ever seen in Dota 2. Really great play from Sangshane. And he did it in a lane. While it's not impossible, it is pretty difficult against the DK. At best, it's a toss-up, and Sangshane just crushed that lane. Really dominated it. Early BKB on him, and there is no answer for BKBs on Aeon's lineup. Moo blinking and clapping as well. Suamon self-decrepify, but that's only going to make this Queen of Pain hit harder. There's the ultimate, even hitting the King. Nice ult by Hao, and with two core heroes dead, will Tongfu actually go high ground? It is hard to do so against this Tinker. March of the Machine's been very good at clearing out these creep waves.
They've mech'd up. I mean, they have got all their heroes healed up. They are not going to have the ultimate, but right off the bat, Brewmaster just blinking. Queen of Pain as well. That's going to be a kill on Shen. And we'll see even Tinker taking a lot of damage. Sansheng, he is going to orb, and he wants his Tinker. Although it doesn't look like he's going to get. In fact, he has to get out now. As a couple more kills going in Tongfu's way. They're going to start chipping away at this T3 tower. Even if they don't get it, they'll know when they can back off. And they have got those Venomancer Plague Wards banned. They've got the mech up, which will not quite yet, but it will be back up soon. And that's just giving them such great survivability. And they can just sort of wait for those ultimates to come back off cooldown without looking for a big teamfight engagement in the meantime. And it looks like they're going to back off. Too much rocket spam, it's going to just sort of push them back. But they can come back later when their ultimates are back and when they do have the pipe finished on the Enchantress as well.
Yeah, it's also about to be a Hex on the Queen of Pain. A 25-minute Lincoln's Hex power treads. This is Hao. Doesn't matter what hero you give him. I mean, I think you could probably give Hao techies and tell him he's only allowed to last tick creeps in lane with his auto attack, and he'd still have items like this. For anyone who doesn't know, techies is not in Dota 2 yet, but he has an absolutely atrocious base damage and attack animation. That's just how good of a player Hao is. I mean, he always finds the farm no matter what, and no surprise here. He's got a Hex. He can easily go for a solo kill on the King, but he's not going to. He's thinking about it. If the King walks up just a little bit farther, we might see Hao attempt. No, he's just going to continue farming for now. Doesn't even care about this Tinker. And he's far ahead. He can afford to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tinker is just not having much of an impact on this game. He's still trying to max out the March of the Machines. It's only level 3 at the moment. And I mean, like we said, even with these BKBs finished on DK, Pugna with his, all they can really do is just survive for a bit longer. It's not like it's going to give them the ability to run in and kill stuff. It's just going to give them the ability to run away if there's a bad team fight that is going sour. Pop the BKB and run and try to keep yourself alive. But ultimately, that's not a winning recipe for winning this game or for even starting a comeback. Aeon are in all kinds of trouble, as I mean, this is just going to be slow and steady. As Tongfu, 4-star even up on the Venomancer. They do have to worry about this ban cone from Tinker. The Rocket, as well as the Master, doing a lot of damage, but Neck, as well as a Pyre, will allow them to maybe break on him. Hao takes a lot of damage himself. He's got up a Sheep Stick now as well. Dream Coil helps take out King, and now Ken caught out as well. He's going to be okay though. He's going to BKB. Suamon pops his, does a bit of life draining, and it looks like Tongfu are going to be forced back for a little bit. Once again, they've dropped, well, they've only dropped the Puck ulti. They've still got Brewmaster and Queen of Pain ulti, so they may look for an opening, although some of their heroes are a bit low here. They will maybe need to use some more heals before they want to go in.
Yeah, that Enchantress heal coming off cooldown in 14 seconds, and I also feel like Tongfu can just slow sieges if they want. Blink in, there's the Panda ult. Swalma gets sent back to base, will be in time. It is going to be just in time. That last impetus is going to do a lot of damage, but shouldn't be enough. Quap ults, you talked about it earlier, solo killing down that Earthshaker, and with Earthshaker dead, no buyback on him, only 450 gold, 480 gold. This will be the tier 1, or the tier 3 tower, as well as the Rax. Tongfu, even having a tornado as Panda's reforms, throwing that hero up in the air, just delaying it. Double damage on Mu. And it looks like we're going to see Initiation going the other way. Mu may die here, but they got what they came for already. That is the Rax. They do pick off the Venomancer. So Walmon sent back to base again. Will he get away? Just barely getting away. Or did he? Actually, no, he did not. No, he did not. It looks like he did. I didn't get the kill notification there. Nuts going down too. How deep in enemy territory. Echo Slam for Mr. Q just for that kill. And Tongfu having a bit of fun with the Rax down, with the gold lead they have. This is a win for them, and in fact, they're not done yet. They're going to get Mr. Kyo too. A team wipe, and out TPs, a Woke as well as Sangsheng, barely any life. A great escape for both of them.
This is just a team without flaws. I mean, you look at their hard carry player, a player like Hao. This is the kind of player who, I mean, I'd compare to someone like Korok, who just carries games on his own. But then you look at the other players on this team who are supporting him. I mean, Sansheng's Puck, his solo abilities, not to mention Mew on their other solo or their other sort of semi-carry. Just fantastic play, and their support play is always spot on. Getting these key items, the mech up. They even got a pipe on the Enchantress and just choosing the smart games. Awoke their captain, leading them so well. And there's just no weaknesses with this Tongfu lineup.
Yeah, you mentioned Sangsheng, and I have to go nuts about this guy. He may be the best offlane player in Dota 2 right now. He's certainly making a case for himself. He is up there with the biggest names, and again, Puck is a very weak laning hero. At best, you expect her to break even with the DK, not to utterly crush the lane. Yes, Sangsheng was in the safe lane, but still, it's a pretty... Oh, initiation! Again, there's that perfect initiation from Sangsheng. He's going to secure 2 more kills for his team, and there goes Mu as well, one after another. Look at this elaborate dance. The fantastic coordination is basically a ballet for Tongfu, and they're getting flawless marks here. They're going to clean up the range racks. With 3 more kills going their way, they should easily be able to claim this top racks, and with that, probably the game. Aeon look like they're just about out of gas at this point.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, a couple more kills going in Tongfu's favor. I mean, they're going to see a last stand coming from Ken. The BKB in with the Dragon Form, but look at it work. So tanky. The mech, the pipe, and just the passive as well, keeping it alive. Queen of Pain pops an ultimate. I don't think it actually hurt the DK, who was still in BKB form. Either way, it is going to be a top Rax going down. GG, question mark from Hao. It is GG. And there we go. GG is called. It was a great game in the Gigabyte Dota Masters where a team called GG and then the other team was like, F you, no GG, and they almost made a comeback and won it. It was so close, and it was an offensive GG, miscalled, although this is not the case here. This game is well and truly over. There is no coming back for Aeon, and they're going to drop down to the loser brackets where they will meet World Elite.
Aeon versus World Elite. We did have Tongfu as the favorites in this match, so hey, at least we got one match right in our predictions here.
Yeah.
Tongfu, they do look like the heavy favorites, even a team like World Elite. I mean, Tongfu, they're just so versatile, so consistent. I have not seen them throw an advantage yet this tournament. I don't know if I've ever seen them throw advantage in any game. I don't know if it's even happened, even if I haven't seen it. How do you beat Tongfu?
Well,
how do you beat them, aside from getting them to pick Pudge?
The only true game I've seen them lost with this roster, if we're not including the game against Ice when they weren't playing with their current team, has been against Zenith, which was a very close 3-game series. And that just came down to, I think, Zenith being slightly more experienced and just sort of catching Tongfu by surprise with their aggression. But it wasn't just aggression, it was just great synergy, great teamwork. And that's something which There's few teams in this tournament who have. World Elite, I don't think they have quite the same aggression. They have sort of a more structured, strategic push. If they beat Tongfu, it will come down to their strategies and come down to the execution there. AN are a team, though, they need to be aggressive and they need to catch a team like Tongfu by surprise. It just didn't happen in this series, though.
Yeah, give Aeon credit. They did pick some unorthodox heroes. They were not afraid to experiment, to take risks, even in this game, too. But Tongfu is just too strong. That may be a meme shortly to follow after this qualifier ends. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, Tongfu advanced to that grand finals. They are one best of 5 away from that trip to Seattle. I know these players want it badly. They've worked so hard for this, practicing constantly, and